Hello, it's Ava Brown here, and welcome to my free audio just for you entitled How to Get Out of the Rut in 24 Hours or Less. That's how to get yourself out of the rut in 24 hours or less. All of us at some point in our lives feel stuck and in a rut. I can identify with that because I have been there a number of times. So I am not here talking to you about anything that I have not experienced for myself. I have felt stuck in a rut in a relationship. I have felt stuck in a rut in my job. I have felt stuck in a rut in my own life in many forms and shapes and sizes, as they would say. And I think most of us throughout our lifetime will feel stuck in a rut at some stage. I think to some extent, if you have not gotten to a point in your life where you have ever felt stuck, then perhaps, as they would say, you have not yet lived a fulfilled life. Now, the idea is not to stay stuck in a rut, but if you find yourself stuck in the rut, this audio is to help you get out of that rut as quickly as you can, and hopefully at the end of listening to it, you would be at a better place in your life. Now, what makes us feel stuck, or essentially is stuck in our minds in our lives? That's the first question I'd love to ask. Now, what is it that makes us feel stuck? For some of us, it may be a job. So you're in a job where you really feel like you're not making any progress. It's the same dead end beat every week. You go in, you go out. You sometimes turn up at work physically, but in your mind, you are not there. It pays the bills, and so you are almost lifted out of your home and taken to that place that in your mind you really and truly do not want to be. You go to work and you're like a zombie walking around all day, just going through the motions. That is feeling stuck in a job. For others of us, it may be stuck in a relationship. So you are in that relationship and you know very well it's not good for you. You know very well it's unhealthy, but you stop to worry about what people may say. Oh my goodness, she's leaving that guy again. Oh my goodness, he's just broken up with that woman again. Oh, he can't keep anybody. Oh, she can't keep anybody. Oh, she's been divorced 3 times. Oh, she's married 4 times. And so, what other people think about you and that relationship keeps you stuck in that relationship. You're not happy in it. You're sad. You feel repulsion. You are frustrated. You are even more lonely and sad being involved in that relationship. But you stay purely because you are too afraid of what people may think. That is being stuck in a relationship. For some of us, it's just been stuck in our academic, ambitions. Is I know I've got this level 2 and I need to go for level 3, or I know I've got a bachelor's and I know that if I were to do a master's, I would command a better salary. My life would be in a different direction. I'd be more economically powerful, but I just cannot get myself up to get out there and get going with it. That is being stuck. Now, you may say, okay, Ava, it's easy to say, can you get out of a rut in less than 24 hours? And no, I'm actually not saying that at all. Because as somebody who knows how it is like to be stuck, as somebody who has been stuck myself, I know that you don't just get up and you just suddenly get out of the rut, because it is not as simple and straightforward as that. Now, to change, to come out of being in a rut, there are some things that you are going to have to do to help yourself come out of that place. And regardless of how anybody tell you do this, do that, do this, do that, you will not get out of that rut unless you are prepared, unless you are quite ready to get out of the rut. So, for some of us, and I know I've been there myself, when I'm in a rut, I eat a lot of chocolate, or I have been known to eat a lot of chocolate. I binge eat. For some of us, we go binge drinking, we go eating too much. Some of us smoke, some of us do drugs, some of us get involved in all kind of illicit activities, not because we necessarily want to do that, but it's a way for us to distract ourselves from acknowledging that we're in a rut, but more so to deal with the fact that we need to take ourselves out of that rut. So what we do, we hide behind other things. We put up a front, we push it under the carpet, and we stay afraid, too afraid to address, too afraid to confront the issues that are keeping us from progressing into greatness. So we hide, we eat, we drink, we smoke, we fornicate, we have sex just because. We do stuff that are not in line with taking us to the place that will make us better as individuals. Because you know why? It's too hard for some of us. It's too hard to get up and get out there. If you live in England or you live in a cold country, you may be able to relate to this. When it is cold and dark at 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning on a winter's morning, I can speak for myself. I find it very, very difficult to get out of bed to go to work. So there have been times when I take the easy route and the alarm goes off and I know I need to get up, but I pull the covers over and I say, oh, just 5 more minutes. And that bed becomes inviting. It becomes so much more nice to be in, and all of the warmth comes and just almost engulfs your body and massage you. And you feel like, I just want to stay here because it is comfortable. It is easier than to get up and jump in the shower, than to get up and go and face that cold, gray, dark winter's day. So I feel like I want to stay in bed. And sometimes being stuck in a rut feels exactly like that. We do not want to go and face what stands in front of us, the hurdle we need to jump over, the mountain we need to climb to get to that which is on the other side. Sometimes is just seemingly looks, feels, the thought process of it is just too difficult. And so we relax and we continue into that slum of a state of feeling sorry for ourselves. And I'm not telling you something that I haven't done. I'm telling you something that I have done for myself. Now, you may say, Ava, what do I do to get out of this rut? There are several things that you can do. The first thing that I want you to be able to do to get yourself out of the rut is to first of all identify, acknowledge, recognize without giving it any celebration. Is like saying, get behind me, rut, but you have to acknowledge that there's a rut. For us to fix any problem, we must first acknowledge that there's a problem. So to be able to acknowledge and identify that you are actually in a rut is the first step towards fixing that problem, coming out of that rut, and beckon into your life. Here I come. I am going to recapture the happiness, the success, the goals, the richness, the empowerment that lies before me, that I know that I was destined to literally open my palms, grab it, hold it, and change my life. So the first thing we need to do is to identify that there is a problem. We are in a rut. And once we have done that, we are halfway there. It's like when you talk to people and they say, oh, I have no problem. You can't help them. Because if you know the person has got an alcohol problem, or you know the person is a thief and they have a problem with stealing, and then you even catch them red-handed sometimes, and they said, no, I'm not a thief. No, I'm not an alcoholic. No, then you can't help them. They are not ready. But when somebody is ready to get out of the rut, they are putting up their hands. They're even calling you, Ava, come here, come and help me, talk to me, coach me, train me, speak to me. Because they are ready, because they know that they are tired of being in that dump. They are tired of being down there, not fulfilling their life's potential. So the first point in getting out of a rut is to identify that you're in a rut and you need to get out. The second thing I would say to you is to change your mindset and your belief system. Now, there are 2 points. Changing your mindset is changing how you see a lot of things. How you see yourself first and foremost. Do you see yourself as worthy and valuable, important? Because if you don't see yourself as worthy of coming out of that rut, then you're not going to see the reason for coming out of the rut. You have to see that you are worth coming out of that rut, but you also have to see what lies ahead of you if you come out of that rut. You have to change your mindset about how you see everything in life. You have to change how you see problems. Rather than seeing the problem, you need to see solutions. So take, for example, you are in a rut of a job that you hate, you dislike. You don't like going to work. You don't like seeing your manager. You don't like even putting foot through that door, but you know that you have the bills to pay and you have to go. So what do? You change your mindset about how you go into that office. So rather than going in that office huffing and puffing and ready for an attack, you change how you think. So you go into the office and the manager will suddenly find a problem with your work. Oh, this spreadsheet is not done properly. Oh, that is not filtered right. Oh, that's not at the right place. And you know he's ready. You know he's armed. You know he's gunning for you. You hate the job already. All your emotions are stacked up. And if you're a Christian, what I say to you is that as you go to the door in the mornings, you say, Holy Spirit, go in front of me. If you're not, then that's fine too. You make sure that because you are cognizant of the fact that that manager is waiting for you to mess up, you disarm him with responses such as, okay, thank you so much. I'll take that on board. Do you want me to fix that spreadsheet now? He will be floored. Because that's not the response he's expecting from you. He's expecting you to be all guns blazing. But what he doesn't know is that when you leave that office in the night, you are thinking of changing your mindset. So you are arming yourself with weapons of disarming him and his responses. So when he comes and he's nasty to you and disrespectful and says things that he knows you would normally react to negatively, ho ho, little does he know that you are working on yourself. You are planning to get out of that rut. And while you're going to be in that job, you are now thinking of ways and strategies and means of getting out of that dead-end job. So while you're there, you'll be doing things like working on your CV, getting all the skills you can at that job. If they have an Excel program, you do it, you get certified. If they have a brand new program, you get certified. You are extrapolating all you can. So you keep your cool. You're changing your mindset. You're changing how you see things, how you respond to them, and then you are planning your escape strategy. So if you're in a dead-end job, for example, that's one thing you can do. You can work on your CV. You can change your mindset. You can change your pattern of behavior at work. And you can actually start getting up at lunchtime, going for a walk, getting up at lunchtime, going to the library, using that time wisely to change your life out of that rut. The third point that I want you to look at is I want you to start surrounding yourself with people who are examples of who you think are not in a rut. Now, I want to say something on that point, that all of us have our rut points in our lives. They just may be different. Or all of us have problems in our lives, but they will be different. But if you see somebody who is doing amazingly well in the job that you want to do, then that is somebody to try and associate with because they are out of that particular rut. So start surrounding yourself with people who are in the right direction, heading in the right place, focusing on the right stuff, and people you can learn from. Focus on positive people. Surround yourself with greatness. Surround yourself with people who are going in the direction that you are going into. So, the first point I just want to recap in getting out of that rut is to first of all identify that there's a problem, that you are in a rut. The second thing is to change your mindset and your belief system, so how you see yourself. The third thing is, the third point, I want you to start surrounding yourself with positive people who are heading in the direction that will help to change and improve your life. Now, the other point I want to add that can help you get off the rut is to let go of all the negative energy around you. And by that I mean the negative people. So could it be friends? Friends who are not heading in the same direction. Friends who are not sharing your vision of suddenly wanting to come out of the rut because they want you to stay down there with them. They want drink partner. They want partying partners. They want all of those things that are negative and just not heading anywhere in your direction. If you want to get out of the rut, then you cannot be hanging around people who are still in the rut because they are not going to help to lift you up. Instead, they're going to drag you down. Think about it. If you are climbing up a ladder and somebody is at the bottom of the ladder, if you reach your hand up, they're not there. They can't pull you up because they're at the bottom. So you want to find people who are ahead of you on that ladder who can help you up. So you have got to let go of negative people, negative relationships, negative friends. If you're in the rut of money, if you're in the rut of not being able to pay your bills, then hanging out with your best friend who wants to go clubbing every weekend and you have to pay at the door and you have to buy your own alcohol, it's just not good for you. Or if you are with somebody or even on your own and you want to buy your first house, then being friends consistently with somebody who goes on holiday 4 or 5 times a year is just not good for you. And you might be saying, but Ava, that's not fair. They're my friend. I'm not saying stop being friends with them. I'm saying they don't share your vision and they're going to be a poor influence on certain factors of your life or certain aspects of your life. So what you have got to do is to find the courage to get up and say, guess what? John is just not good for me. You don't need to tell John that, but you distance yourself a little bit from John so that you can give yourself some breathing space to cope and save for that house. So the fourth point, again, is to distance yourself or let go of the negative energy around you. Now, another thing to get yourself out of the rut, believe it or not, is to start feeding your brain with positive information. Now, you might say, what does that mean? And I can hear it, what does that mean? It simply means start reading, start digesting positive, healthy, nourishing information. So if you are somebody who is stuck in the rut of not having a job, for example, so you go, you're getting help from the government or whatever it is, or you're just stuck in the rut, you can't pay your bills, but you need a job, then you need to get out there and start reading materials on how to write up your CV, how to get back into work, all the schemes that are in place to helping people back into work. Information that is also guiding and almost pushing you in the right direction. So you're not going to be sitting there reading up about how many celebrity got how much money this week or who bought what dress for what amount of pounds. No, because that's not going to feed your mind with anything good but make you depressed. So, but if you start reading information and getting tools and valuable skills that can help you in the direction of finding a good job if that's what you need, then that information will definitely enrich your mind, your thought, your focus, and enrich you with skills and probably even ideas you never thought of. How many times do you pick up the papers and read something about, oh, that initiative, or the government have that initiative to help people back into work, or the government have that initiative to help under 35s to get social enterprise funds? Exactly. That's my point. Start feeding your brain, start feeding your mind with positive thoughts. The fifth point that I want to ask you to help you to ask you to do to get out of the rut is to stop watching so much television and browse the internet aimlessly. Now, don't get me wrong, social media has become such an addiction for a lot of us. I can tell you that because I use social media quite a lot because of my business. There was a time when my Facebook was just Facebook to update the friends and family of what we're doing because we're so far apart. Nowadays, I'm on Facebook all the time because it's part of my business. And sometimes I don't want to be on it so much. But the reality is, it's part and parcel of what I do. But how many of you listening to this recording right now spend all of your days on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and all the other ones I can't even remember at the moment, aimlessly seeing who is married to that person, what that gossip is about? Not because you're getting anything from it, but because you're just idling and wasting time. You've got nothing else to do. You're stuck in the rut and you cannot understand what else to do. So social media becomes your best friend. And when you're finished browsing how much money Jay-Z and Beyonce has, or what dress Rihanna bought for £50,000, you become depressed and you sink yourself further in a rut. Rather than using that internet to browse and improve yourself, improve your thought process, listening to a recording of somebody who is going to uplift your spirit, who is going to tell you you are great. Somebody's going to tell you you are destined for greatness. Somebody's going to tell you that you are your biggest obstacle. So get up now and start being proactive. Of course not. That's not what you're using the internet for. You're using the internet to do the easy part. Because I said earlier, it's always easier to stay in the rut. It's easier for us. It's how we are almost genetically created, some of us. And the people who actually come out are the ones who are brave enough to acknowledge that they deserve better. The ones who are brave enough to acknowledge that this is not what I want for myself and my children. They're the ones who actually bear and brave the cold and put their heads out and peek and see, it's actually not that bad after all. So small steps will get me where I want to go. So I go back to my fifth point, and I want to stress it. Stop watching so much television and browsing the internet, social media. Television is there to drag you in to buy stuff. The advertisements come on and you feel like, oh, I need to buy, oh, I need to get, oh, I need to do. Because that's what it is. It goes into your psychic. It psychologically does that to you because that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to help you feel bad about yourself almost. So cut down on how much television you watch. Take an hour out of your internet and TV session for a day, just an hour to start per day. And use that to work on the thing that is your problem area. So if it's your CV, use an hour per day to work on it. If it is your relationship, use an hour a day to see what else can be done to improve or to get you out of it. If it's your alcohol problem, take an hour out per day or a week, find Alcohol Anonymous. But what I'm saying is, whatever is your rut, take an hour out of your television watching or whatever it is that you do. For some of us, it might just not be TV. It might be just be on the phone, chatting, gossiping, wasting and adding up more money to our already money rut problem. Take an hour out of that and do something creative. Do something towards betterment of yourself, your life, your future, your children's future. But most importantly, your future. So stop watching so much TV. Stop browsing the internet so much. The other thing I'm going to say about when you're in the rut, I remember days when I was depressed and down and out. I don't want to get up out of bed. I don't even want to get up. I would spend the whole day in my pajamas. Whole day. As a matter of fact, I've had time when I was depressed and down and out, And I would spend the whole day in my pajamas and wake up the next day in the same pajamas. Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I know what you're thinking. I have been there. And when you're down in that rut, the last thing you want to do is to get out of bed early. Not because it's cold or anything. You just don't want to see anybody. You just don't want to face the world. But I can tell you this, when you're in the rut, one of the best things that you can do is to get up early, have a shower, get some breakfast, get out there, get some fresh air, start knocking on the doors of the problem you have. Say if it's a job, start knocking on companies, handing your CV, and dress for the part. Because when people see you look the part, they will want to envisage you acting the part. And I know it's hard to get up and get out there when you're in the rut. Yeah? It's very hard when you're in the rut to get up and go. But try it. Get up early. Don't stay around watching TV all day, lounging, sleeping, smoking. Get up, get dressed, shower, get out there, have breakfast, arm yourself, talk to yourself, tell yourself, I am ready to go. I am going to try this. You know what? Something is out there for me, and the only way I can get it is if I get up and get out there. It's not going to come to you in your bed. It will not come to you in your bed. You are going to have to get out there and go and claim your own greatness. Because it's out there, but it's waiting on you to come. Your name is on it. And until you get out there and hold it in your hand, pull it towards you, it's not going to come to you. So get out there and get what is rightfully yours. Get out of bed, get out of the rut, and get up and go. Make your bed and get up and go. You might surprise yourself as to what you might find out there. The seventh point about getting out of the rut that I'm going to talk to you about, and it's my final point, is about stepping back, assessing your life, assessing your situation, going back to the drawing board and see how you can do things differently. Now you might say, what do I mean by this? So for example, you might be trying to go to college or going to university, and you might realize that, guess what? I don't have the money to go and live on campus. And if you're stubborn, like some of us have been, you think, but I want to go to university and I want to go and live here and I want to be on campus. But then you don't have the money. So be practical in life. What about trying to go back to the drawing board, see that you still want to go to college or university, see that you still want to do this particular course, but you do not have the funds. So what you are going to do instead, you are going to do an online course. You're going to find a reputable degree program with a reputable university, and you are going to enroll. You still can live at home. You still can look after your family. You're saving money essentially because you are not driving or going to live on campus. That is just one example. Or you're in a job and you're just not making it, but right now something else hasn't come up. Unless they are pushing you out, you re-strategize and look at seeing that job as something you're going to work with for now until such time. Whatever you do, for goodness sake, get up, get out, empower yourself, talk to yourself. Because guess what? Sometimes ruts are there to tease us, to see how much we're going to stay away from claiming what is out there waiting for us. Sometimes ruts are platforms on which our own destinies of greatness are waiting for us out of. But we have to actually acknowledge, realize, conceptualize, get up, go, and grasp. So I'm going to refresh and revise the steps that I know if you implement them today, starting now, this minute, you will get yourself out of that rut. The first thing I want to remind you of is that for you to get out of that rut now, you have to acknowledge that you are in a rut. The second point is you're going to have to change your mindset and your belief system, how you see yourself, how you see the world. You need to start feeding your brain with good food. So read better materials, stop reading the gossip magazines, go and read some self-help book, something that will help you. There's YouTube nowadays, everything is there. Get out there, there are libraries on every corner. Get out there, better your mind with good food of substance. And then surround yourself with people who are going to be as great in what they're doing as you want to be. Surround yourself with positive people whose influences will start rubbing off on you. Let go of negative energy, negative people, negative relationship. They are going to drag you down into the pits that they are staying. And if you want to come out, think about crabs. When crabs are in the bucket, they don't want anybody to escape. They keep dragging each other down. So if you hang around these negative people, that is what will happen to you. Get out, get up, and go. I want you to stop wasting time on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of those. Yeah? All of those TV watching, internet, browsing idly. Turn it around. Start browsing the internet for more positive, useful stuff to improve you as a person. Because all those 7-8 hours for the day wasted browsing Facebook is a waste. Okay? Get up. Get out there. Get dressed. Get out. Smell the fresh air. You might be shocked. You might run into a great person who will change your life. You might run into somebody who might think, oh my God, you know what? You're actually beautiful. I'm looking for a model. Oh my goodness, you speak so well. I'm looking for an amateur reporter. Oh my God. You know what I mean? Somebody might just spot your talent there and then. So why not get out there? Because in your bed, you're not going to meet Richard Branson. But you might have a chance of meeting him if you get out there. So get out there. And my last point for you is to go back to the drawing board and assess your plans, your ideas. If plan A doesn't work, don't just throw your hands up and say, oh, I can't do this. No, you look for plan B, because sometimes the answer lies in even C and D. But if you don't explore them, you are not going to find them. I am going to implore you today to get up out of that rut now. Because if you don't move, if you don't get up, what will your children think if you have children? If you don't get up, how will your life change? If you don't get up, how will you know you could actually gain that MBA or that bachelor's degree? If you don't get up, how do you know who you would have met out there? If you don't get out of the rut, what's going to happen to your life? Life is going to throw challenges at you every day. But do we stay down? No, we don't. We get up. We pick ourselves up. We graduate. I don't say you're going to get up and you're going to just start walking. No, of course not. But if you start today, then you're at a better place tomorrow. If you want to understand how to get out of the rut, you have to start today. You cannot sit there and wallow in pity and, oh, I can't do this. Oh, no, you can't. So I'm going to say to you in closing that only you can change your rut. Only you can turn your rut around. Because no matter how much somebody talks to you, gives to you, invests in you, if you don't see the need to get out and go out there and stand up and be counted for the great man or woman that God designed you to be, then you're going to stay right where you are. So get up from where you are right now. Assess your own rut. See what you need to do and get up and go. If you like my audio and you want to have my one-on-one coaching, by all means, I will be delighted to have you on my program. At the moment, I have a 21 keys to a more enriching and fulfilling life in 2015 and beyond. And I would be delighted to offer that to you as somebody who has gotten this free program. That 21 keys to a more enriching and successful life is yours to have for only £47. Now that's normally £150, but for this one-time offer, I'm offering that to you for £47 today. So if you click buy now, you will get that delivered to you right away, and you can listen to those 21 keys of how to enrich your life for a more successful life in 2015 and beyond. You can also continue to listen to my how to get out of the rut in less than 24 hours, and you can share it with your mates, because guess what? You might just have a mate who you really like, who want to get out of that rut too, and you want to hang with them still, but you want them to get out of the rut too. That's okay. I have group coaching sessions as well. So please check out my website, avabrown.org. You can email me. It's info@avabrown.org. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter @avabrown24. I will be delighted to talk to you, to work with you on a one-on-one basis. Whatever your problem is, I know we can come up with a solution. So do go ahead and buy my 21 keys to a more enriching and successful life in 2015 and beyond. And you will get that great offer today only for £47. That's normally £150, but just because you are one of my special chosen people today, that is going to be yours for £47. I wait to share more with you. Until then, please get up, get out of the rut, start living, start breathing, because guess what? Life is going to have challenges. It's how you deal with them that's going to determine the victor in you. I'm Ava Brown, and I speak to you soon. Bye for now. You can email me. It's info@avabrown.org. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter @avabrown24. I will be delighted to talk to you, to work with you on a one-on-one basis. Whatever your problem is, I know we can come up with a solution. So do go ahead and buy my 21 keys to a more enriching and successful life in 2015 and beyond. And you will get that great offer today only for £47. That's normally £150, but just because you are one of my special chosen people today, that is going to be yours for £47. I wait to share more with you. Until then, please get up, get out of the rut, start living, start breathing, because guess what? Life is going to have challenges. It's how you deal with them that's going to determine the victor in you. I'm Ava Brown, and I speak to you soon. Bye for now. Bye for now.